can't stop things overseas. We don't need to relearn that lesson. We learned it. Let's make certain we stay engaged. There's a lot of people out there who want to be with us. One of the nations out there. Hello, Senator, Mr. Chairman.
How you doing? Good to see you. How are you? General? Good to see you.
Chairman, I'm waxing eloquent, basically with the same thing I said in front of your committee in January.
Well, it's profound and important, and you know, I always with my favorite general and my favorite admiral, and so it's my pleasure to be with you and some very wise people. Now you'll hear from a member of Congress. Was it Mark Twain said, suppose you're a congressman, suppose you're an idiot, but then I repeat myself. These are very interesting times, most interesting times I think my colleagues would agree than frankly I've almost ever seen. It is just remarkable times, and this latest fiasco in the Middle East makes me weep because they're just killing more Syrians while the Russians are playing us like a Stradivarius, and so they're bombing them indiscriminately, and perhaps once the Russians and the Iranians and Hezbollah and Bashar have enough territory, they may declare a ceasefire after they've killed enough and gained enough territory. This is really we're writing a sad chapter. Could I just mention one other thing?
Please do.
The Admiral and I particularly, this seizure of these two American vessels, we still don't know how it happened. They're having an investigation. We're going to give them till just a few more days, and then if we don't get the information, we're going to subpoena somebody. But this is one of the most embarrassing episodes. Not the fact that the Iranians took our vessels. That's the rogue nation they are. But the gratitude that was expressed by our Secretary of State, who said thank them for their prompt action, and our Vice President that said this is standard nautical procedure, and the spokesman, that idiot, said something else. I mean, and then what did the Iranians do? They showed pictures. They had a video of an American apologizing. Lately they've had a video of an American crying. They gave medals for bravery to these brave Iranians that took these vessels. And then they even had a parade in Tehran where they were mocking us. My friends, this is a propaganda coup for the Iranians in the region. They captured two American vessels, put them on their knees with their hands clasped behind their heads, and then we're good enough to let them go. This is not the way a superpower agrees to be treated. You don't thank people for violating international law and taking your vessels and putting their service members on their knees. That's not the way America should behave. And as an old Navy person, Admiral Roughhead stood at the top of our Classic Naval Academy. I stood at the bottom of the class. But I don't know if you agree, Admiral, but this is really...
No, and I think that in my comments, I alluded to kind of Iran's newfound lease on life that they're going to have, and the behavior that I believe you saw when they seized the vessels and humiliated our sailors and by extension our country. Now you're going to see more capability. They'll be out more, and they'll present more challenge, and I believe they'll tend to be more aggressive than what they have been able to do in recent years and months. And so, you know, we've got to get the tone right. We've got to get the strategy right, and because it will only get worse, in my opinion.
And of course, you have to put that in the context of the firing of the missile by, was it Teddy Roosevelt?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
The demand that our ships leave the Gulf of Oman, which I found very interesting, and all these provocatory acts that continue to send the message that the United States of America can be pushed around. And that's not a good message in a very, very dangerous neighborhood.